Hello friends, I'm Colonel Failure, and you're watching Transport Fever in the style of a Metropolis, which currently looks like 2 oil containers. This is high-octane oil. No, maybe not the most punchy of openings, but the good news is, for those of you who've been tuning in so far, the oil line has started producing. Now that in itself is not spectacular, because this oil well is delivering eventually to the oil refinery over here. Now I think well, in fact, it's pretty obvious that this line from the well to the hub we've got here is slightly shorter than the line from the hub to the refinery. So that should always mean that we have a ready supply of oil good to go. But we'll see how that pans out. Obviously, nothing's been delivered yet because I've pretty much picked up exactly where we left off last time round. But that seems to be ticking along. Let's just say a howdy-do to this chap here, and then give him a moment of one of those. Fill up, please, and we'll only make you wait 1 minute, because that's better than not waiting at all. And we'll see how we get on. Now, where's the other there it is. So, yeah, you're about to go pick up. Let's see actually how much we grab. We might as well, get a feel for where we're up to here. Go on. 31, half a load already. So I'll need to up the size of that train pretty quickly, I would have thought. But that's promising. In no uncertain terms, that's promising. Right, okay, on with the show. What are we going to do today? Now then, we've got 2 mods to feature in today's show, and we'll do one of them pretty much straight away as soon as I find a bit of road that is suited to what we've got. We're going to mix up as we progress through the modding the modding universe. We're going to mix up what we've got going on, but to start with, I thought we'd go for a couple of gentle. Watch out! There might be a train here, and I've got a selection of these. So we've got these kind of shield type luminaries here. There we go. Now look out for the locomotive. Oh, careful! And then you've got the oval ones here. Railroad crossing, stop, look and listen, nice. Far more direct. And then the wooden ones, which are slightly harder to spot, but they are done on the cheap. And given that we're in the early stage right now, we'll go with these cheapy numbers. Anyway, all of these were created by Model Citizen. There are 4 different sets in total. One of them isn't available yet because obviously it's too early in history for it to be available. But I thought we'd get those in. So yeah, we'll mix the mods that we feature in this series between stuff that has a bit of function to it and stuff that just adds a bit of extra atmosphere, a bit of glamour. And that one was definitely glamour. Right, anyway, today we are going to be focusing primarily on getting Detroit set up and running. Will we be able to deliver from the hub here to Detroit without it being a complete mess? That's question 1 there, quiz fans. Question 2 is how much of Detroit is going to be left standing after the bombastic intro? Right, there we go. Now we start out at Pork Barrel Central, where I've topped myself up for this particular endeavour because city demolitions are expensive, and that takes us now to 200 barrels that we have ploughed through. 201, including the one that was a misfire last time round. Yeah, we haven't forgotten. Don't worry. That's all safe. Anyway, once again, we're going to focus on getting close to the town centre as possible. I don't want to delete too much of Detroit, to be honest, because having some passengers available is going to be very valuable. But I'd quite like to expand Detroit down to Springfield as part of this expedition. And actually, Springfield. Did we decide that Springfield wasn't American? I think we did, didn't we? We decided that was going to be European. I don't know. Yeah, because we'll keep Santa Ana as being North American, so Springfield will make European. Okay, right, smashing. So before we go any further than that, we shall we'll rename it. Is this British? No, it's not. Britain being right at the north of the map there. So I need a European city. All right, let's go for. Tricky. Let's go. All right, you know what? This is going to be Brussels. Why not? We might as well go for the capital of Europe as our kick-off there. Right, now then, let's clear some space here at Detroit. Let's get these trains out of the way. Although since I'm running tons of trains, I'm going to have another one in just a sec. I might have to tell it to hold its horses. Yeah, you hold your horses. Right. Get this one out of the way. Cheerio, bye-bye, go on, off you go. And we'll pause there. Right, I'm going to unpause this one now because otherwise I'll forget. Right, let's get the bulldozer warmed up. There you go. Right, get rid of all of that. There we are, smashing. There were precious few passengers to give a monkeys about the destruction there, but we've got to get it done. Now I may end up using this gully. But first off, I want to make sure that we can get close to the name. The name of this town is Detroit, and that's what it's about. Now, do we want to... The question is, because we've got kind of the parallel approaches here from El Paso, do we want to continue a parallel move, or do we want to just plough straight through the... We're going to plough straight through the middle. There we go. I've made a decision. Let's get that out of the way. Let's try and save some of it. There you go, we'll save those chaps over there. This is not a straight road. There you go. This and other insightful commentary coming up in the next 25 minutes. Right, let's do that. Okay, let's not do that. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to smooth it out a bit first. Let's give it that. Go for maximum smoothing power. Because if we do that, we should end up with a building surface that doesn't have too many kinks and bends and ramps and lips and other words that have some kind of meaning in a contourographical sense. There you go. I mean, that's all pretty flat, isn't it? Yeah, that looks pretty respectable. Yeah, sure, why not? Right, okay, so next we need to think about where exactly we're going to end up. So we'll go with a straightforward station here. Thank you, Contour Tool, you have served your purpose. Let's get rid of that for just a tick. Right, now then, from Detroit, we could head out to Brussels. In fact, I wouldn't have renamed it Brussels if we weren't going to do so. But we've also got Santa Ana, Overland Park up to Lubbock. Names will be changed as we develop the station. So embrace your hometown, if one of these is your hometown, while you still can. Right. So now Detroit's it is interestingly placed with this regard. I think we're going to make this one a little on the curvy side in order to facilitate some of these moves. So if we've got two routes coming in from the south, so that's two platforms, one of which will continue to say, well, whenever we go up there, I don't honestly know how many platforms I'm going to need. It feels like I could almost get away with 3, but maybe a little more than that. Now, I mean, given that we're going to have the pork barrel situation at our disposal throughout the entire series, there's nothing to stop me changing my mind and redeveloping later on. Yeah, that's not bad. In fact, a bit more curvy still. Given that Detroit streets are already something of a erratic layout, -1 will do a trick. We're not going to make it curvy just for the sake of it, apart from the fact that that's exactly what we're currently doing. Right, we'll start with 4, and then we'll probably add some more later on. But this at least gives us a starting point to go from. Now, I can delete all of this much further back if I choose to. But what I'm trying to do is make sure that we can get over the river to the other side without it being a total mission to do so, without it being a complete speed kill to make that happen. So I mean, what I'd like is that, but that makes nothing work. What if we did it like that though? Yeah, you see, then we get absolutely no joy coming from the south. Now, the other way that we could do this potentially is we go straight and we put 2 tracks like this, and another station that is curvy pretty much right next to it. But I don't know if that's going to look good. All right, well, we're not talking about a massive amount of money, and given that as long as I promise to repay it back in the fullness of time, that my piggy bank is overflowing. Let's see what we get. Now I want to leave a bit of space here to put a road in. I think it's pronounced Rodan there. That's an art joke, people. And then yes, we could terminal. Ooh, interesting. That's a novel idea. What do you think? Road down the middle and then terminal up there? No, or terminal here to get across the river. I don't like either of those things. Or T-terminal. Okay, yeah, right. That feels better. And that then opens, right, 4 tracks on this one. That opens up the whole eastern side of the map to make Detroit sing. So if I plough that forward to there. Now this obviously sets us up for a situation where we try and make Detroit go all the way to the edge of the riverbank, because that'd look pretty terrific, wouldn't it? Right, let's smash a road in through the centre of this. Again, I've no idea if this is going to work or if I end up, revisiting it with your friend of mine, Mr. Dozy the Bulldozer, to try and make sense of it later on. But oh, come on, the construction's definitely possible. All right, well, it will be if I get rid of that, and then we do it deliberately. This 2 tracks, por favor. Spin it around. Manic button clicking, and we get it there, which should leave enough space for some housing to develop in between the two. And then we'll whack that out over there. Building has to be removed because we're here with the progress cannon. Progress, thy name is Bulldozer. Right. And we'll follow round the backs of these houses. Round the backs of the houses, not through the back garden. We're not opposed to bulldozing, but think about it a little bit, will you? Nope. Too much curvature. Tell you what, do it this way. Except, do it right. There you are. That's it. That's it. Spot on. And then, yeah, like that. Keep going, and we'll worry about where that goes in the fullness of time. Right, okay, so we have now the ability to whack this around the corner, like so, and this one as well. Right, splendid. We also spoke of building an additional station out here as a second kind of commuter stop. So let's yeah, I know it's more semi-visible roads that I'm going to have a nightmare trying to reconnect later on. But it's all part of the great tapestry of what we're doing. Now we'll make this 3 platforms, or will we make it 4? But we'll do it like that. We're no middle platform, so we've got 2 that are a pass through, and then we can run our commuter service up the middle of it. I see, that's cunning as a weasel, that is. Can't curve it. this is unfortunate, but you know, we'll just deal with that. So we'll run this up here. We're being very ambitious as far as what we can anticipate growth looking like, but you know, if you haven't got ambition, then well, you know, what can you say about yourself? Right, and then so if we call that upstream and this downstream, and then we take this branch off, construction's not possible. It is. You're just not trying hard enough. Bring that out this way. Then this will allow the main line to do just a spot of overtaking. Yeah, right, what's that? 50. 50's okay. All right, match up onto that. And that should look mostly, it looks mostly even. It's not perfectly even, but it is mostly even. We've got a slight additional bend going there. That's okay. Right, good. Smoothing gun to just polish that a little bit. A little bit more. There we go. How's that look? Respectable. Okay, cool. Now, that's not going to go any further just yet. We're not going to go all the way out to, I mean, I guess Santa Ana would be the kind of terminal situation out there. We're not going to get out that far today, but or are we? No. Not today. No. Keep it. We're trying to run a tight ship as far as episode length is concerned in this series. I know the last one ran a little longer than. Well, it ran to my kind of traditional length. But the aim is going to be to keep us at a level. No, you meant to press the other button there. You fool. To keep us at a relatively steady pace of around half an hour a show. Look, stop going so fast and do it properly. I am a hard taskmaster, and I demand results. There you go. That's a bit better. How do you feel about that? You need 3, which is, as we have previously discussed, too high. What if we started out here and went to there? Can we get over in 2? Yes, we can. And we shall. If I find a bridge substance that is more appealing than the green girders, I shall use it. There are some very late on that are a little bit more a bit more stylish, but initially it's green girders or knout. Do that, and then we won't have to delete the buildings. There you go. Right. Okay. Good. Right. That's coming along nicely. Yeah, I don't even know where that bridge went. Oh, near it turned into a bridge. Well, we'll leave that intact for the time being. Give it some of this. And again, this is all jolly ambitious stuff as far as actually being able to make the city grow into this area. But you never know. We may just figure out how to get this all working. Nope. No. Thank you. That's better. No, isn't that exactly the same? See, that's different. Okay, all right. Well, if that's what makes you happy. And then we'll go across like that. In fact, we'll head out towards the bridge that already exists. That would be the smarter move. Right. Okay. Cool. We'll leave that alone because there's not a lot going to happen here until I connect up to Brussels, and I probably ought to go and do that now. But before we do that, we shall head down to this junction where obviously there's a train waiting. Pity. No path. Detroit. Okay. Well, which one is Detroit? No, what's the betting this has picked it up? No, that's Upper Detroit. We're going to call this one Detroit Terminus. And this one is going to be Detroit Grand of the Central. Grand Central. And the two linking together should work quite well. Is my hope. Right, what's your problem? Why are you incapable of connecting to Detroit? If you're coming from El Paso west, I've not missed a bit of track. Let's unpause and see if I've missed a bit of track. There's something mysterious going on here, but that's a train that has just entered the Phantom Zone. All right, have I missed a? I shouldn't have missed a track here. No, Detroit. Let's set you on automatic. Alright, evidently I've missed a bit of track, but I couldn't see it on that initial fly past. Eyes peeled, everybody. We might just need to turn it around and then turn it back again, because I'm pretty sure that this is all connected. Yeah, it certainly looks all connected. I don't know what you're making a fuss about there, friend. Right, you, come here. Come here. Turn around. Turn around. No path. Are you trying to go to El Paso West at the moment? Well, don't go to Detroit. No. Okay, well that's why we've got a knock-on effect carrying on down the line, because you're trying to go to the wrong place. All right. Well, in which case my patience is temporarily reduced, and we'll do this. There we go. That's it. Yeah. There's a vehicle on that bit. However, we've got a workaround. There you go. Shove it back into the station. Right, now, I've got a perfectly lovely tunnel here. And I want to run the main line into there. It's not the cleanest route. See, you have to do a bit of a wiggle. And is that what? No, if we're going to do this, let's spend the money and do it properly. Spend the money, do the smoothing, bulldoze some stuff, and do it properly. Right, now then, if we now smooth this out, right, like that, and then we get our track laying facilities back in gear, we should be able to come out and make that a bit cleaner. There you go. Right, there you are. Magnifico. And then basically all I'm doing is I'm just reversing what I had before, but I'm making it so that the main line takes priority rather than the branch, rather than the commuter route, because that makes more sense, doesn't it? And to there. All right, cool. Now bang some signals back in. We'll put a signal on there. And we'll put a signal here. And we'll put a signal. Do we want to put a signal there? No, we won't. We won't. We'll let that one run. Hold on, will we? Yes, we will. I want to give, otherwise, you'll end up, if you don't take some precautions of this kind, you'll end up with a situation where you have one of the lines queuing almost endlessly. Now then, has that fixed anything for anybody at all? I guess not. How can I tell you? All right. Apparently, Detroit has just disappeared from the face of the world. So if we now add Detroit Grand Central... Oh, it didn't update the name. Right. Okay. Well, you could see how that would be a problem for people, can't you? You're also having difficulty, Sioux Falls main line. So from El Paso West, we add another station, and that is this chap over here. So there we go. They all just got a little bit confused. They go, everything's changing, and I don't like it. And I've got, don't worry, there, little train. I'm here for your salvation, and I bring progress in the shape of a gigantic orangey yellow bulldozer. Rejoice, for the dozer is at hand. And other such platitudes. Construction's not possible. What if I use something a bit more svelte? There we go. You don't get much more svelte than the sveltest of svelte roads. Right, okay, now then, onwards to Brussels. For it is Brussels that will be our salvation and deliver unto us a mammoth number of passengers that will fuel Detroit, and in the process will fuel the growth of El Paso and of Sioux Falls. That's all it has to do. you know, not putting too much pressure on the European capital there. All it's got to do is make everything perfect for all of us. Right. Have you calmed down again now? Yeah, we were doing a bit of auto-scroll there, which wasn't helpful. Now, we'll just use one platform initially. Get straight across there. We'll go for girders, because they're robust. Got enough room for a bit of shipping underneath, because that's a good plan. And then we'll sling that on there. Right, now then, from Brussels, where are we going to want to get to? Well, Detroit, obviously. Overland Park is an obvious another one. It's Salem, probably. Flint, Lancaster. There is almost no shortage of where we would want to go from here. Brussels is clearly setting itself up as a capital for the ages. And I'm going to put the station in on this side, but we're coming in through there, so none of you get comfortable. Yeah, all of you. Sorry. Yeah, that's life. Right, now, that should be fine. And this is going to be we're going to go straight for beefy on this one. But we want a regular through station, 400 of your finest meters in length, and then we'll stick it right about here. So I'm really optimistic that this policy of sticking it right on the centre of the town will pay off. If it doesn't, well, then you know, then that's a waste of an effort in getting all of that set up. There we go. Right, that looks pretty good. So Brussels is only going to develop out this side until I get some road on over this way. So let's sling some in, and hold on, let's go like that. No. Come on. Play ball, will you? Actually, that looks awful. Right, try again. Just go a little bit further away, and then it will look fine. Yeah, that's good. All right, cool. Now, some of these lines are going to be end of line, effectively. So not all of these will be going places, but it will be taking in traffic from both sides. So I want to make sure that it's geared up to do so. And as much as this is going to lead to further bulldozing, I'm going to set up so that we can cross town now, because hopefully that will fuel a bit of growth everywhere. Now then, which track do we want? We want platform 1, I reckon. There we go. Temporary depot going on there. There will be plenty of time for the glamorization of depots that we've got set up. Right, here we go. Platform 1, or whatever platform that was. I hope it was 1. Let's just double check. Yes, sir. Right, okay, good, thank you. And then we'll double track across here. All right, it makes it look so easy. And then we'll merge that in, like so. We'll do something a little bit more streamlined with that once we add further routes to it. But in order to get growth rolling, one of the things you can do to really jumpstart that is to link up multiple towns in relatively short order. But not even in short order, quickly. Basically, is what you want to do. Is you know, get yourself connected as wide and as far as you can, as quickly as you can. Right, there we go. 2 on there. Stick those on here. This is going to be this is more than I need, but hopefully it will be useful in the future when we start thinking expansion. Right, okay, so let's route this up. So this is going to be what do we think is where Detroit's a terminal, so that's going to have to be the way that we go. Brussels is just going to be called Brussels. So this is going to be Detroit, Brussels. For now, it will become something more magnificent eventually. And I'm going to run 3 of something on here. And it looks like it's going to be I think we'll stick with the general because it's relatively inexpensive and because there's coaches that match up with it very, very quickly. So we'll take the general and these passenger cars, which are capable of 31. 2, 3, we'll put 4 on there, duplicate that twice, set them all on Detroit, Brussels. Off you jolly well go there, friend. Right, now then, let's unpause and let all of that start to have a think about what it's going to do with itself. And then I'll turn your attention to the second mod that we have today. Now, the second mod that we're playing with, he looks up his piece of paper, effortless, is called the Plop Town Buildings mod. And it does exactly what you would expect. New car. It's rather typical. In that it allows me to plop a town building if I find the right button. So we've got commercial buildings. Ooh, nice. You've also got some industrial goodies. Yep. And look at all of this. You've got all of this business as well, and then housing as well. Now the reason I'm using this is to generate the initial kind of wave of settlers, of migrants, of construction. In and around my little commuter stations, right? See, like that. Because, right, person capacity, we'll go medium capacity on that one. Concrete texture doesn't really matter. Ground filter, fill, yes, okay. Level ground, yes, please. We'll have normal. Assets, yeah, yes, yeah. We'll asset up. So. What I've found, because I've played forward, not on this map, but on one similar, with a similar principle, where I started building out little commuter, sub-towns, effectively, and you have to work incredibly hard to get them to build up, and you largely have to do it by blocking your major towns from any kind of development at all. And that usually, I mean, there's probably easier ways to do it, but the most effective way I've found is by laying track where you don't want the AI to build. The AI will try and stick a cheeky level crossing in the way, and that's not helpful either. So you have to double track up in an erratic fashion. It just looks bad. So the only way you can get stuff rolling, hopefully, will be to add some of this. What are the other options I've got? Industry production level. Cargo capacity. I don't honestly know. We'll investigate some of this and see what it does as we mature. But hopefully, by sticking in a couple of buildings like so, it will encourage people to move in. Yeah, I don't know either. Because if it does, then just the very generation of passengers going on in here will generate up a little bit more. Now, it could be that I have got the woeful end of the wrong end of the stick here, and basically there's a few people out there now going, no, that's not how it works, man. That's not what it does. I mean, yeah, I think it would be nice if it did that too, but that's not what it does. No, all it does is it allows you to place these buildings and they look nice. Thanks and all, but you have not been helpful. So if we stick those in there and they actually, hold on, if we have an industrial effect, let's have some industrial effect. Why not? Maybe this will generate a little bit of production demand. Do they show up on that? No, they don't. Okay, maybe they are just there for looksies. We'll see how those develop. I'll put in a couple more houses over here. In fact, I'll sling some commercial on this one, like that. We're not got anything a bit more dramatic than that. I guess not, but that'll sit right neat, right against the station edge, and then no, that's the one you just picked up. There you go. We'll stick one opposite it, and we'll put a couple of little houses in there as well. Now, if these don't work out, then we're going to have to go back to Plan A, which will be the introduction of of rail, blocking off Sioux Falls from developing further this way. It seems to want to develop south. And, I mean, that's not a problem in itself. It is a problem in that it's not going to help me at all. And if that's the case, then maybe we can use these ploppable buildings to block those off. Anyway, the mod creators were A. Gunter and Wicked, two fine fellows, no doubt. And it will be added, as is every mod in the series, will be added to the mod collection, the link to which you can see in the description for this video. Right, now then, to wrap us up, let's have a look and see what's happening in the oil situation. Here we are back at oil situation where we got oil waiting. There's 25, look. We've got some more coming in, another 33, that's good. You are carrying nothing at the moment because you're going to be waiting for fuel, of which there is currently none. But there is some up here, and that means it's working. Well, that's a fine thing. How much are you carrying? You got 25 on board. Well, that's brilliant. Okay, well, okay, this is working. I shouldn't sound so surprised, should I? Obviously it's working. I mean, it was always going to be working. Where did that second signal go? In a really terrible place. All right, let's try that again, but this time get it right. Nope, no, yes. There you go. All right. Because obviously the more signal blocks we have down here, the more freely our transportation services will move through them. And it doesn't matter if a train is too long to get through two sets of signals. It all helps. There you go. That'll do. Let's not overkill any more than we absolutely have to. But they're going to be quite slow moving getting up that bridge in the first place. Right. Let's turn our attention to this. Ignore the bottom numbers at the moment because every time I pork barrel it throws things off. What we're looking for is the disparity between income and running costs. And you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it might be. So last year, 788 in, 3.6 out. There is some way to go here, but as you can see, El Paso is already starting to look like a town again after its brush with the future, and Sioux Falls is a little bit further behind, but it's picking up. Long may this continue. Right, next episode time. In the next episode, we will do one of the following. Maybe more than one. Don't know. We need to get out to Gilbert in order to drive Sioux Falls, and we'll probably do a route from El Paso to Gilbert and a route from Sioux Falls to Gilbert. Whether we will do a route that then goes like so. Yeah? You feeling it? Yeah? I don't know. But that's we'll set up that connection because then we'll hopefully get the same effect that look at the number of passengers waiting. I always knew this would be the case, obviously, he said. Well, there it is. So, Brussels was itching to get involved, and now it is. And hopefully every time we drop off here, people will scamper across to grab a different train. Anyway, that will wrap us up for today. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you very much for watching. Fling a like at this video if you enjoyed it, and please do subscribe. So that, why is that turned on? Don't be. So that you missed a key word there. Subscribe is the key word, so that, yes, the reason, you do not miss, ooh, tempting, the rest of this series. I'll catch up with you very soon. Let's give you something that's worth watching to finish off on. You know what? We're going to watch these exciting buildings, right? Memorize the building configuration here. If this works, we will develop more population. You will all tell me in the comments why that's not going to happen. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Cheerio.